So you put yourself on the fabric, but she's not really following her own body at all. Cutting it out with a really small scissors, just so it takes longer. Baking paper makes the fabric not slip. Let me know in the comments, did anyone ever try this? For a specialty fabric, like here a lace for example, or a fabric with a coating, where the needle doesn't want to glide through smoothly, this tip is pretty awesome, but then you put the paper on top, like on the right video. If your fabric glides, honestly, I would just pin it. This is a waste of paper. And in reality, I feel like it's gonna be a real hassle to put paper everywhere in between. Also, the seam allowance is huge. I mean, look, they're not twins, they're not sisters, they're not even family. Which makes sense. With the paper not lining up to the edge of the fabric, you really have no idea where you're sewing. I think we can just ditch this tip. It's gonna cause more problems than solve. Oh, now the iron comes. I mean, what is that? Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen a mini iron like that. I literally haven't heard of it. Not sure if it's something you really need, honestly. You can also just, you know, in a sewing atelier, they have like certain tools that you put just on top of this ironing station so that you don't iron on top of the ironing board. Just a wooden tool, like a stick, or they have like also sort of axe. Also, if you just created all this texture by sewing in elastic, you usually don't really have a reason to just iron on top of it. It's not really necessary. If you want to settle the pleats a bit, you can also just steam over it without letting the iron touching the fabric. Okay, the activities performed by actors in a controlled environment. Please caution if you plan to replicate. Okay. She drew it pretty straight. Wait, did she stick the two markers together? Oh yeah, they're stick together with tape. I was already thinking, how would they stay so evenly together? I mean, it's a wildly imprecise way to create a pattern, guys. If you want to be really quick, you can probably just better buy a pattern in this case. Okay, yeah, this with the tape, create a pattern. I've tried this as well in the beginning of my YouTube channel. Honestly, it looks much easier than it is, I'd say. This way, that knife will ruin your bra, and you drew on the line, so you should be able to just get off the tape and cut along the line. Also, now that it's zoomed in, it looks literally like they're fake cutting. Allegedly, don't sue me. But I guess it kind of proves my point. And also shows that videography is prioritized here, as opposed to useful tips. Allegedly. Cable ties instead of boning. You guys have maybe seen me do it. I don't know if it's the best boning in the world, but I will say I've been trying some bonings from the sewing store, and that stuff is quite hard to work with because the edges get like super sharp. My first corset, I can't really wear it anymore because it's literally pinching me in the flesh. Therefore, I've been actually also just gone back to tie wraps. I usually use 2 of them in one tunnel just to make it extra strong. A lot cheaper though. She just pierced the entire candle to make her thread smooth. I hope you didn't ruin the candle though. It's waxed thread. You can buy actually at the sewing store. I think it's a thing. I never really knew what I would need it for. Just remember that wax isn't something really healthy. Turning tunnels inside out, oh, definitely a challenge, but play that one more time. Go quite quick or I'm sick and my reaction is just a little bit slow today. It has a cocktail straw. Goes in. This might work, I feel like, with really smooth, thin fabrics that will glide through the straw, but honestly, with most fabrics, I don't think this is really gonna help you. Also, by the way, what they don't show, and is probably a better tip, is that they trim down the seam allowance, maybe almost a little too much, but a smaller seam allowance will help you in any method to turn it inside out more easily. Oh look, surprise surprise, suddenly the cups are sewn into the body, and I might have a guess why they didn't show it. If you randomly draw a pattern like this, take a random bra to take your cups, without making any adjustments or measuring out anything, how big are the chances that the cups are gonna fit in the body? The answer is not big. So they probably had to be very creative to get the cups to fit into the body. Okay, this was what I was talking about with like the special tools that you iron on top of. I don't know if like a toy is basically the best material to use, especially because it is synthetic fibers and the iron can be quite hot. Take precautions that your toy isn't melting underneath. I feel a bit sorry for the piggy if you just sewn a shape in. You don't want to press it all flat with your iron, right? You're very right to put something underneath. It's getting better. Diapers. What? In the last minute they decide to add diapers as an accessory? That's special. Wait, I just have to replay because I'm like, I can't be seeing this all for real. Here's a diaper. I'm not hallucinating. I don't think you need to make like an arm on the doll just to measure out the diaper around. You can just measure it around your own arm. But I guess if you need a rough arm shape, not for tailoring, but for more or less maybe upcycling what we do, maybe having a like long sock filled with something is actually quite a good idea. Eyelet needed, so they sewn a hole. What I would do though is stitch around the edge one more time, top stitch over it. You can already see the facing wants to pop out, so cutting in the seam allowance well and a top stitch is gonna make this look a lot more professional. The whole facing is coming out. Like those are always the most satisfying sort of hacks when they go in with this colored thread and one pull gather the fabric together. I mean, I guess it's good as a temporary solution. Sewing straight is usually not the biggest problem for people. You can really learn it quite quickly, and I feel like hanging a pen somewhere at the edge of your sewing machine isn't necessarily gonna really help you so much straighter. Let me know if you tried something like this. Did it help? That was quite funny that they make a name out of it. Good idea. Only if your name is Liz though. Or you should maybe have like a round hole in the fabric. You could make an O. Otherwise you have to write something else with an L. Loser. that when the sewing machine isn't pulling because there's not enough fabric under the foot. I think especially with cheaper sewing machines, this is definitely an issue. I feel like you have to put the paper more forward for it to really do something, because that way the foot has something to pull on. I feel like if you put it exactly on the fabric like it already is, it's not gonna make that much difference. So you can see all their stitch lines that they're not really doing their best to stitch it nicely for the video. I guess that says it all. These make a nice line with a nice stitch length. We could do more with stained clothing, you know. There's a lot of creative ways like this that you can actually cover up a stain, hopefully, in a little bit of a nice spot, because I don't know if you would want to have a butterfly exactly in the middle. Quite an elaborate, time-consuming idea to cover up a stain. Also just remove the pocket, for example, which can look pretty cool too. Wait, what? What? Okay, I'm sure those are just in between there because they want to generate like comments under their video. So yeah, if you want to connect to Wiener sausages, I don't know what it is, guys. That is making me hungry. Knitting device. I don't think that's a knitting device, is it? Knitting device. Isn't it something crochet-ish? But yes, you can definitely do this with a crochet needle too. They don't show it, but I think you have to connect it somewhere so that it doesn't fray out. It's not really a hack. That's something that's been done since the beginning of knitwear, I think. Magnets, I've seen those in sewing notorious. I don't think that's a hack either. I think you really need some extra guidance, because some sewing machines, especially industrial ones, they don't have like guidance for like half seam allowance, you know, 1 centimeter, 1.5. So you have the magnet and you have to measure it out yourself. Ah! You guys know that I've tried this hack. I hope you know. Otherwise, you can watch the video of my cowboy pants on my channel. Does it work? Well, it definitely works, but I think it also definitely will, yeah, leave some threads around the house. Fringe will fray. Well, guys, let me know. Did you try some of those hacks? Are you gonna? Sometimes you just can only find out by trying it out. Anyway, let me know what I should react to next. Check out my DIYs, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.